𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗏, brothers and sisters. Welcome to a live Google Hangout show. Today we will be talking about a specific topic. It's been a while. It has been a while. Apologies for that. We've been busy on different projects. But as always, we've been working hard in the background on different materials. The channel, if I was to give you a summary, it's I think we're about 8 or 9 months into the development of the channel. Alhamdulillah, with your du'as and the support of the brothers and sisters, the viewers, your channel has really gone from strength to strength. As you know, we started this channel to essentially address the misconceptions about the Shia school of thought that was being perpetuated by those so-called experts on Shiism, which were essentially utilizing places such as Hyde Park to propagate hatred towards Shia Muslims. And that's why we were set up, for that purpose. Gradually, things have developed, and alhamdulillah, you know, what was originally just a small bunch of brothers working on the project, we have now slowly developed into much more strength, with greater numbers and more alhamdulillah learned brothers with specific skills, skill sets in specific areas joining us. So if I was to say to start, let me introduce a very familiar individual, Sayyid Ali. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Alaikum salam. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Hey, we didn't even finish on our Adala series. We still yet to continue on that.
Absolutely, and I'll explain why. I think things have kind of almost taken over. But before I do that, I'm extremely pleased that we also have on board Brother Sayyid Zaidi. Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you, brother? You good?
Alhamdulillah, it's good to be with you guys. MashaAllah, thank you for hosting me. Thank you.
Thank you. He's a sort of brother that he's heavily involved in the setup, but very much in the background. So we really had to convince him to come on board for today's show. Thank you very much, Sayyid, for that. Yes, go on, Sayyid.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And the reason being, I'll explain. You're absolutely right. You hit the nail on the head there, Sayyid Ali. We were doing our Adala series, and apologies, brothers and sisters, we weren't able to complete it, and inshallah we will. Things kind of took over. We had certain individuals which decided to essentially start attending Hyde Park more regularly, and they thought it was almost like open hunting season to go after Shia Muslims at Hyde Park and misrepresent them, quote their books out of context. They did all sorts of unusual tactics. They've been kind of strutting this stuff like, you know, they seem to be some sort of the Conor McGregor of Hyde Park in recent times. And we thought, well, initially we were wondering, how should we deal with this? Should we just ignore them? But they're becoming more vociferous, and we felt that there was a need to address these said individuals. Myself and Sayyid Ali and some of the other brothers from the team, we did attend Hyde Park a few weeks ago just to try to highlight the beliefs of these individuals. But such was the demand. People were saying to us, you are talking about these individuals, are talking about you. There are two individuals which come from the north of England, especially to expose Shiism through what can only be deceitful tactics by quoting texts out of context. And when we presented that, a lot of viewers came and said, these individuals are adherents to a group called Deobandism, the Deobandi sect. What are they? We did try to provide a summary of that, but to be honest, it didn't really give it justice, because we need to have an understanding of who the Deobandis are when people were asking us. So when we read their books out, just as a kind of tried to give them a taste of their own medicine, except we were doing it in an honest method, in an honest way. The feeling was that amongst people was, could you please expand more on who Deobandis are, where they actually hail from, what their background is, what their beliefs are. That's when I think myself, Sayyid Zaidi, and Sayyid Ali, we sat down and we thought, well, to be honest, as they are becoming much more active, and it is important that we highlight to brothers and sisters the belief of these individuals, the individuals that are going after us, and essentially really are using very, very underhand tactics.
And
It's best that we analyze them and look
not,
at what they believe in their books.
and not just that.
Go on, Sayyid Ali.
Yeah, I'll say there's a lot of misrepresentation as well, which inshallah
Absolutely.
we will deal with that at a later show. But
Oh, absolutely. That's a promise, brothers and sisters. I can tell you something. I can assure you something. Do not think that when they are saying their stuff at Hyde Park, we aren't watching. If those videos are uploaded, we don't just sit down and say, oh, well, let's carry on doing our other shows. The reason we stopped the Adalah shows was to focus on this topic, to focus on these individuals. And yes, we're fully aware what they've done. We're fully aware how they quoted books out of context. All of that will be addressed. That's a promise to you, brothers and sisters. That will happen. But for the time being, as these two individuals hail from the adherents of the Deobandi sect, we thought it was essential that we have a series dealing with the beliefs of the Deobandis, so that our brothers and sisters which are listening, they understand that those that are attacking us, this is what they believe. So essentially, this is part one, which will, inshallah, we'll have a series on this topic area, on the Deobandis specifically. This is merely an introduction to who they are and their beliefs, part one. There will be a question and answer session afterwards. I want to be very clear, it will be very short, 15, 20 minutes tops, and it will be limited to the topic at hand. If anybody wants to start talking about irrelevant topics, we are not going to answer it and that person will be blocked. It will be on the topic at hand. So today's topic is first a quick introduction to who the Deobandis are, and then we will go straight into the specific topic of today, which is their concept of Tawheed. Before we do so, Sayyid Zadi, can you please provide us a quick summary of who are the Deobandis? When we talk about Deobandis, who are we talking about?
Thank you so much. Deobandis, Barelvis, and Ahlul Hadith. These are the three major subsects of Sunni Islam in Indo-Pak and Bangladesh, I would say. So the whole portion is called subcontinent. Britain used to rule them, obviously, before they got independent. And there were different philosophies and there were different ways of handling the deen and what to do to make sure that the people are close to deen and Islam is relevant to this day and age. So there were different people with different approaches that came in, and there were like people like Sir Sayyid Khan. There were people like Muhammad Hussain Batalwi, Sanaullah Amritsari. These were the heads of Al-Hadith school of thought. Sir Sayyid had a really different school of thought. Then you had Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani and these other people. And obviously, but we really need to make some generalizations so that we can fit people into different clans and groups. So generally talking, Sunnis are divided.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Did you say Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, one of the founders or the founder of the Ahmadiyya movement, was originally Deobandi? Is that correct?
He was inclined to he was a Hanfi. That's not a problem, but that's like established fact. But he belonged to Sunni school of thought. If you go to his Majmu' al-Ishtaharat, like it's a publication. There is a 3-volume book, and Ahmadis have just published them. He has mentioned time and again in his book and even in other books that he has written that he follows Sunni school of thought. He's from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And within the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, he was close to Ahlul Hadith and the Deoband school of thought. But that's a really different topic of another day. And inshallah, we'll be highlighting this fact, like people are associating that, oh, the Shias have soft corner for few people. So we will show who have soft corner for whom. But obviously, it's a different topic. But generally, Shah Waliullah Dehelvi is a figure that's revered and respected by all three school of thoughts. Ahlul Hadith, Barelvis, and Deobandis. These are the three major school of thoughts within the Sunni Islam in Indo-Pak. Shah Waliullah Dehelvi is a figure that is a father figure. Just like Ibrahim is a father figure for Christian, Muslim, and Jews, same like Shah Waliullah Dehelvi is a father figure in Indo-Pak. After Shah Waliullah Dehelvi, Shah Waliullah Dehelvi, just for the viewers, he's a really respected scholar. He has written Izalatul Khafa and Tafimatul Ilahiyya, Hujjatullah al-Baligha. He has a sharh on um, al-Muwatta from Malik ibn Anas. I think if I'm not wrong, it's called al-Musaffa, if I'm not wrong. But he has written a lot of things, and he's really, really well respected among scholars in Indo-Pak, in subcontinent. After him, there were different people that came in, and people like Shah Ismail Dehlvi and Shah Abdulaziz Dehlvi, they were from the school and they were from the family of Shah Waliullah. So Shah Abdulaziz Dehlvi was another figure. Shah Abdulaziz Dehlvi is a famous person that has written the famous anti-Shi'i book called 𝗙𝗢𝗧𝗜𝗙𝗢𝗢𝗪, a gift for travelers, right? So it's a really famous book, and a lot of replies were written on it. But again, the problem with me is when I start talking on something, I might just get detracted. Just getting back to the topic, there were a lot of replies that were written on it, but that's another topic for another day. Shah Abdul Aziz al-Dehlvi was a figurehead then for this Sunni school. Ahlul Hadith, Brailwi, Deobandis, all three respect him. After Shah Abdul Aziz, Shah Abdul Ghani was a figure that came in. Shah Abdul Ghani al-Dehlvi. So Shah Abdul Ghani al-Dehlvi was another figure that came from the family, and from Shah Abdul Ghani al-Dehlvi there was a figure called Haji Imdadullah Muhajir al-Makki. Haji Imdadullah uh, was a figurehead for the Hanfi school. So Hanafis are divided into two groups, Brailwis and Deobandis. So both Brailwis and Deobandis have respect for Haji Imdadullah Muhajir Makki. And Haji Imdadullah Muhajir Makki, I'm just going through the websites of Darul Ulum Deoband. So it says that Haji Imdadullah Muhajir Makki, along with Rashid Ahmad Gangohi and Qasim Nanotwi, were really working against the British rule at their time. Like not only like when they said they were working against it, it means that theologically and ideologically they were figureheads that were working against the the arguments and the speculations that were being brought by Britain and by the missionaries. They were fighting against it at that time. On In 1867, on 15th of Muharram 1283 Hijri, on Thursday, Madrasatul Deoband was formed. So Deoband is a school which is located in northern India. It's located in Saharanpur. Saharanpur is a city. Within Saharanpur, there's a location, a neighborhood which is called Deoband. And within the Deoband, there is a called masjid which is called Masjid Chatta. Like Chatta is like a small roof. You can say it used to be called Masjid Chatta. So Masjid Chatta, they formed the school, they formed the madrasa then, and it was formed. And as per their website, there are like around 175,000 scholars and students that have graduated from the school. So 175,000 is a huge number and have gone through all over the world preaching the Islam, preaching their version of Islam, obviously. And some of the really big figures like Sheikh Mahmoud al Hassan, Sayyid Ahmad Hassan Amrohi, Khalil Ahmad Saharanpuri, Rashid Ahmad Gangohi, Qasim Nanotwi, and Mufti Kifayatullah, Mufti Asghar Hussain Deobandi, Ibrahim Kandahlwi, Hussain Ahmad Madani, Zafar Ahmad Usmani, Munazir Ahmad Gilani, like Muhammad Shafi Usmani, Mufti Taqi Usmani, Mufti Ilyas Kandahlwi, and figures like the present head of Tablighi. The Tablighi is a sub branch of Deoband Islam. So these all huge figures belong to Deoband school of thought. Now, one of their uh, like something that really distinguished them from others, and not something that distinguished them specifically, but their rhetoric against the Shia Islam is really dangerous, and it's really huge. Um, I personally have a lot of books with me that Deobandi scholars have written against us, all the way from Qasim Nanotwi, Rashid Ahmad Gangohi, Hadiyatul Shia, and scholars like Abdul Shakur Lakhnawi. He used to write against us a lot. So they have a really huge history, all the way from Shah Waliullah, Shah Abdul Aziz, Shah Ismail, and Muhammad Rashid. Rashid Ahmad Gangohi and Muhammad Qasim Nanotwi, Ashraf Thanvi. they have said against us a lot of things. So they have a history, and presently too, they're speaking against us a lot. So we thought there's one thing called defending, and we obviously have a defense for all the accusations that they're bringing up. But at the same time, it was really important to show them the glass, to show them that if you're living in a house of a glass, then don't throw a stone on others, right? Because it will hurt you really badly. So people were really against us. I saw some videos, them coming into the to Hyde Park and pretending as if they are like pretending as if like they are the only one that are there, and the Shias cannot come there, and Shias cannot defend that.
Can I
I mean,
see?
like,
Can I bring the clip
yeah,
up? Can I bring the clip up?
yeah,
Is that okay?
yeah. So Alhamdulillah, I think that's a really small introduction for them. And if people have other questions too, inshallah, we'll be addressing them in question answer. Thank you. Yeah, Sayyid Hassan, go ahead, bro.
Okay. So thank you very much, Sayyid Zadi, on that. Obviously, the topic is the Deobandis. We want to be very, very clear. The method that we use is not to go out to insult or offend anybody. That's not been the approach that we've had from the start. We've always tried to be academic. That's been the approach. That's been our objective from day one. We will use stuff honestly. References will be clear, authentic, from the tongues and the pens of their ulama. The intention is not to hurt anyone's feelings. It is basically almost like a kind of an opportunity for them to. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You need to unmute yourself though, Sayyid, because I think you've muted yourself. Hassan Bahari, you muted yourself. You've muted yourself. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Now we can.
Okay. So I just wanted to stress the fact that the intention is what the objective of the channel has been from the start. The intention is not to offend, to hurt the feelings of other people. We've never wanted to do that when we set the channel up. Our approach has been academic. It always will be, inshallah ta'ala. We are not the sort of people that just slings mud at people for no reason. We will, inshallah ta'ala, present references from the pens of their ulama, from the mouths of their scholars, authentic. There'll be no tampering. There'll be no half quotes. Unlike those very individuals that have attended Hyde Park and they know what I'm talking about, and inshallah ta'ala, we will address that separately. There's no way that we've come here to say, oh, we want something so people feel hurt by what we're saying. We are essentially here to offer you the opportunity to understand what they believe, and also we are also advising them, giving them the opportunity to say, what type of aqeedah is this? Why don't you look at what you believe, assess it, analyze it, and ask yourselves, is this the correct belief? How can we, exactly like Sayyid Zadi just said, how can we be hurling stones at these individuals when we've got these beliefs ourselves? Sayyid Ali, do you want to expand on that a little bit, brother?
Yeah, actually, you know what? What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up a clip. So if you just bear with me a second, you should be able to see my screen now. I'm just going to play you a clip actually of these two individuals when they last attended Speaker's Corner. And remember, these are sheikhs from the community. Okay, these are not just any individual. These are sheikhs who obviously attended their hawzars, their institutions. They're supposed to be academics. But, they felt so threatened by, the average Joe Shia. But let's be realistic. The people who attend Speaker's Corner, they're in no way ulama belonging to the community. Okay, these are just normal brothers. Okay, and they had the need to attend to try to refute these people. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play you a clip of what they said, and it's quite interesting. And for those who may have not already seen, but me and Hassan Bukhari, we did attend Speaker's Corner the week after, or maybe it was a couple of weeks after, I'm not too sure. And we were addressing this issue, and we did address some, various aspects of what they believe in. So I'm going to screen share. I'm going to bring them up. You should be able to see my screen. Hassan Bahari, can you see it? Can you see my screen?
No, Sayyid Ali, I can't see.
You can't see my screen. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me just apologize. Give me a second. What about now? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
play you something. So if it's too loud, or I apologize for the slight hissing I have. I think it's coming out due to signal interference of some kind. But just let me know if you can hear what's being said.
Very important reference here with regards to.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, say it. We can hear. Go ahead.
Okay, so he's going to present a very important reference, apparently for the Shias. Okay?
Authoritative text. Ni'matullah al-Jazairi, big Shia scholar. He writes in his book 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗢𝗢𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗢, volume 2, page 279. He says, لم نجتمع معهم على إله ولا نبي ولا على إمام. Us as Ahlul Sunnah, Muslims cannot gather, cannot unite on one God. We cannot unite and gather on one Nabi, one Prophet, or on one Imam. Why?
So, okay, so I just want to, I'm not going to go into the reason why we cannot agree on this issue, on these 2 points, meaning we cannot agree on the concept of Tawheed, we cannot agree on the concept of Nabuwah. Did you want to hear his explanation, or did you want me to stop it there? Sayyid Hassan Buhari, Sayyid Zedi?
Yeah, go ahead with his explanation.
Okay,
but how long is the clip?
Okay, it's a couple of seconds. I'll play it for you anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is because the Sunnah, Ahlul Sunnah, they say, "Inna Rabbahum huwa alladhi kana Muhammadun sallallahu alaihi wasallam nabiyya." They say that their Lord is the one who Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was his prophet. Wa khalifatuhu ba'dahu Abu Bakr. And after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Khalifa is next. Leader after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. وَنَحْنُ لَا نَقُولُ بِهَذَا الرَّفْضِ وَلَا بِذَلِكَ النَّبِيِّ. Allahu Akbar. Look at the hatred for Ahlul Sunnah. He says, we do not believe in this Rabb and this Lord, and we do not believe in this Nabi. Which one? The Nabi after whom Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu came.
Okay, I'm going to leave it at that now. I'm sure you can kind of get the gist of his objection. I don't know if you brothers want to mention anything, Hassan Buhari? Sayyid Zedi?
Yeah. Inshallah. Firstly, I would just like to give an explanation, inshallah. I hope, inshallah, Sayyid Hassan Bukhari would have the book. But before we go into the explanation, obviously we don't believe in a God that has 2 hands, two legs, right? And he jogs, and that kind of tawheed that they have, right? That will put his leg into hellfire. Obviously, we don't believe in such a God. We don't believe in a God that will make someone as a caliph, to against whom Umar would say, like the second caliph would say, if anybody is being selected the way the first caliph is being selected, I'll kill him, right? So obviously we don't believe in the God that God can make this stupid mistake, that like it should be a sunnah, but why would Umar say that I will kill someone if someone would do the bay'ah in this form, right? So obviously we don't believe in their system of the khilafah. We don't believe in their way of doing it. But obviously the problem with these people is if you try to teach them logically, they won't understand. So you always have to bring a counter answer, their scholars saying the same thing, to prove something to them, right? So inshallah we'll bring them a quote from a book, and I'll have Sayyid Hassan to speak on it further, inshallah. Sayyid Hassan, go ahead, please.
You need to unmute your microphone, Hassan Buhari.
Hold on.
We can't hear you. We could hear you before. You've just muted yourself again.
Say Zadi, do you want to actually quote the reference? I've got the book here to show the people.
All right, so I'll quote the reference, inshallah. I'll read the Urdu, right?
Yeah, and I'll translate.
So we have different editions here. The one that I have with me is 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗢𝗢𝗦𝗢. It's page number 19, and it's incident number 8, story number 8. And Sayyid Hassan has a different volume, different edition. So inshallah, Sayyid Hassan, Sayyid, quote your reference, please. Show them the publisher name and
Okay.
quote your reference to, please. Go ahead. So I'll read the Urdu later.
Okay, I'll quickly show the reference as well. So this is the version that I've got in my hand. Okay, it has been translated. It's from publisher Rahmania. Muktaba. Here we are. Can you see it, Syed?
Yeah. We can see it.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the edition that I'm holding. It's a more new edition from Maktaba Rahmania. Okay. And I've got it. It's the same. It's incident number 8. And it appears on pages 24 to 25.
All right, sounds good. So say it. I'll quote the Urdu thing, inshallah. I
Okay.
want you to help me with the English thing, okay?
No problem.
So yeah, so here's the thing. खान साहब ने फरमाया कि मिर्जा जानान रहमतुल्लाह अलैहि शाही खानदान से थे और आलमगीर के खालाजाद भाई थे. Sayyid, I want you to translate the relevant part. I'm just quoting the full reference, so everyone knows that we're not selecting some specific quotes from in between. So I'm reading the full stuff, but I'll just want you to translate the relevant thing, okay?
Okay.
कि आपके उनके वालिद का नाम मिर्जा जानी था और मिर्जा साहब का नाम जानान आलमगीर ने रखा था. इनकी शहादत का वाक़या ये है कि दिल्ली में नजफ खान रावजी का तसल्लुत था और रावजी उस वक्त ज़ोर शोर पर थे. इत्तफाक से 2 रावजी मिर्ज़ा साहब की खिदमत में आए और कहा कि आप शेखैन की निस्बत क्या कहते हैं. शेखैन मीन्स अबू बकर और उमर, right? Just for the viewers, right? मिर्ज़ा साहब ने फरमाया मेरा क्या मुँह है कि मैं इनकी निस्बत कुछ कह सकूँ. इनकी निस्बत तो खुदा फरमाता है वस्साबिक़ून अल-अव्वलून इलल आखिर. इस पर उन्होंने कहा कि वो नुज़ूल आयत के वक्त बेशक ऐसे ही थे, इसलिए खुदा ने ऐसा फरमा दिया और बाद को इनकी हालत बदल गई और इस मामले में खुदा को बदा हुआ है. और इस पर मिर्ज़ा साहब ने फरमाया. अच्छा, now Hassan bhai, I want you to translate this, that translate that about the bada thing that happened to him, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead.
Okay, so essentially what he's talking about is that the city of Delhi had a lot of had a Ravzi influence, and this individual he went into the city and he was approached by 2 Shias, Ravzis is the way it's written here, and they asked this individual, what's your opinion about the Shaykhan? And he replied that these are individuals about whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said they are from amongst the Sabiqun. He quoted the verse of the Quran. And their response was, yes, that might have been at that time, but then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala altered that viewpoint through Bada.
Yeah.
His view changed. Yeah.
Yeah, just a small note, Sayyid Hassan and Sayyid Ali, everyone, and everyone listening here. It's the straw man thing. I haven't seen any Shia scholar replying like this, and I really don't believe any Shia learned person replying like this. At that time, they were like, God revealed something like in praise of them, and then they change, and God was really embarrassed to, that doesn't work. But obviously, that's like a straw man thing that they're really fabricating a lie here. Anyway, so but it's a hujjah upon them. It says that उसके बाद वो कहते हैं इस पर मिर्ज़ा साहब ने फरमाया कि ऐसे अहमक खुदा को मैं नहीं मानता. अहमक खुदा, अहमक is for the Urdu listeners, अहमक means बेवकूफ, means someone who is an idiot, right? So go ahead, say it.
So he's basically saying, I do not ascribe to a belief about such an idiotic creator who, go on.
जिसको ये भी खबर ना हो कि शेख नाउजुबिल्लाह मुर्तद हो जाएंगे और वो उनको खुशनूदी का भी परवाना दे और उनसे जन्नत का भी वादा कर ले. ऐसा खुदा रावजियों का खुदा है.
Okay, say that again, please, say it, then I'll translate it again, please.
Yeah, so it says that ऐसे अहमक खुदा को मैं नहीं मानता जिसको ये भी खबर ना हो कि शेखैन नाउजुबिल्लाह मुर्तद हो जाएंगे.
Okay, let me translate that bit first. I'll translate that bit first. So he goes, I don't believe in such an idiotic God who doesn't even know that the Shaykhan became apostates.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, that's good. और वो इनको खुशनूदी का भी परवाना दे. Parwana means like a certificate. Go ahead.
You'd have to translate Khushnudi. My Urdu isn't that good.
Khushnudi means like just for their happiness or just for their sake, God will give them a certificate Like no, it says और वो उनको खुशनुदी का भी परवाना दे दे. God would give them a certificate of God being happy with them, right?
Right. Yeah.
और
Okay. Fine.
जन्नत का भी वादा कर ले, and God will
And he
promise
guarantees
them,
paradise.
yeah, guarantees them a paradise, right? ऐसा
Mhm.
खुदा रावजियों का खुदा है. And
Such a God is the Ravzi's God.
so here you go. So if you have a problem with us not subscribing your God, so don't
Yeah,
you
it's
have a
here.
problem you unsubscribing our God and you subscribing to your version of God? Obviously, that's a really logical thing. But every time they bring it up, right, and even in 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗢𝗕 or different other website, oh, uh, Shias have a different God. You know that heading that comes up, and they would always
Yes.
quote 𝗦𝗨𝗦𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏. That's really
Absolutely.
stupid,
Absolutely.
stupid reference, right? But we really wanted to deal with it, even though that's not our topic. But the Maulvi came into Hyde Park, right? So that needed to be dealt with. Yeah, go
Talking
ahead, Sayyid
Absolutely.
Ali.
talking about idiotic gods, it kind of leads on to our topic of discussion.
Our topic at discussion. I think we'll lead into that topic today. We thought, something, Sayyids, both of you. These guys are really obsessed with the topic of Imamat. Fine. But I always say, you always say, I know Sayyid Zadi's always said when we started the channel as well, before we go to the concept of Imamat, we work backwards. There's prophethood. And before prophethood, there's Tawheed, the concept of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's discuss that first before we go into these other subject matters.
Yeah, like
So
how
today's subject is on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Murray.
Absolutely.
We
So
should-
Sayyid Ali, let's talk about that topic today and
Okay.
their belief about God.
Yeah,
Go for it.
So obviously, with anything, when you discuss the core tenets of any faith, you must start from the foundations. And the first pillar of Iman is Tawheed. If your Tawheed is not set, then your concept of Nubuwah falls down, your concept of Imamah falls down. So of course we will discuss Imamah. We will get to Imamah. We'll discuss what your conditions are for even having the Imam of Salah. We will discuss our concept of conditions of Imam of Salah. We will discuss every aspect, even on the issue of Isma, no problem. We will discuss Isma with you as well. But before that, let's discuss Tawheed. Okay, what is your concept of Tawheed? And as you can see from this video title, the video is what? Can Allah lie? That's a question that we need to ask ourselves. Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have the ability to lie? So what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to screen share and I'm going to present you some references from the works of some of those individuals who were mentioned earlier in the show, which held the belief that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had the ability to lie. So Hassan Bahari, can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see, Habibi. It's
Okay.
visible.
Okay, brilliant. Okay. So 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗧𝗜𝗢, who doesn't require any introduction, and for those viewers who are not aware of him, just do a simple Google search, type his name in, 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗧𝗜𝗢, and you'll understand his level of scholarship within the Deobandi school. And he has a book called 𝗧𝗢𝗟𝗧, okay? And in his book 𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗧, he says something very interesting. He says, if impossibility of Allah can lie is intrinsically said, as if Allah doesn't have the power to lie, then we do not agree that such lying is impossible. Okay? Saying this will mean that the power of a human is higher than the power of Allah. Meaning, what he's trying to say here is that if we claim that humans have the ability to lie, then how is it impossible to believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have that ability?
Subhanallah.
Hassan Bari, do you understand the point? Do you understand what
Oh, absolutely. He's actually he's trying to present a rational argument here to say, it isn't beyond the realms of impossibility that we have a creator who can say untruths. Absolutely amazing.
It's a funny thing. You see, like they haven't brought up any quote or something, like any nas or anything, right? From Quran. They always say from Shia. So show us from Quran only. Show me single ayah that says Allah can lie. lying and like attributing lies as possible for Allah.
Yeah.
Like that's like really really like a stupid thing to bring forward.
Absurd. It's
And
illogical.
then you expect from Shias to only bring from Quran and Hadith, and you're using only aql and not bringing Quran and Hadith. Anyway,
Sayyid Ali, could you show the scan, please? Because we're just getting a request.
I'll bring up the scan, but aren't these the same people who accuse the Shias of lying?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's their main obsession.
I remember not so long ago, I was doing some searching online, and I came across an anti-Shia website, and one of the first references they actually came up with was Shias believe Allah can lie, right?
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. It's one of those common sort of things that's all over the internet. Number one, Shias believe that God can lie.
No,
Yeah.
the funny thing is that I still remember their reference. Al-Kafi, volume number 1, page
Absolutely.
number 148.
Google it.
Absolutely.
Na'uzu billah. You know that thing? That's a stupid thing that they bring it over. Allah can lie. I think it's just like saying that Shia's Quran have been eaten by goat, while someone else's Quran has been eaten by goat. Same for this thing too. That they just want to conceal their beliefs, and they would attribute the lying part to others, so people won't be able to see their beliefs and expose them.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely.
If Allah has the ability to lie, then who are they?
Absolutely. Who are we?
Who are we? Okay,
we're his followers.
Yeah, we're. Okay, so this is page number 17, and it's in his book 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗓. And again, that reference was from 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗍𝗓. There's the front cover of the book. I'll zoom up for you guys slightly so you can see it. And yeah, okay, here's the page. Here's the reference. That's the reference.
Can you make it a bit bigger, Sayyid? Or
yeah, I can zoom in, no problem. I can zoom in.
Please just zoom in a little bit further for the viewers.
So nothing's hidden. There's clear transparency here. We're not trying to mislead people.
No, that's not our style.
You can refer back to the book. The page number is there. Okay. 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗧, is that clear enough for you guys? Sayyid Zaidi?
Absolutely clear. Yep.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's good.
Is from Rashid Ahmed Gangohi, who again, I think Sayyid Zaidi mentioned at the beginning of the show. I advise my viewers go to the official Deobandi websites, have a read, see who he is as a personality. He's a very respected individual. Okay. So remember, by the way, these are not hadith collections. These are
Sayyid Ali, we're just getting requests from customers to show it bigger. Like it's not coming on the screen properly. Like to show it bigger. Like even though it's coming here, but it's not coming up on the bigger screen.
Okay, can you not see it now? Hassan Bahari?
Hold on. Bring the reference up, please. The scan, Sayyid. The scan. I think people want to see the scan.
No. This is for what? For the previous one? I've just showed that one.
For this one as well. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'll bring that. So I'm going to read the reference. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Zeddy, can you see my screen now? You're saying that it wasn't large enough.
No, I can see the screen, but if you go to the YouTube YouTube page, the YouTube video, it's not coming up there properly. Like it's just showing the small screen on the side.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Hold on, let me resolve that issue.
So go back to 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗓. Show that again, bigger.
Can you see my screen now? Can you see
nothing yet?
You can't see my screen.
No, it's just zoom.
Nothing yet.
Sorry, give me a second. Sorry, it's just my I've got too many wires connected up on my system at the moment. Can you see?
I think it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. That's good.
Can you see my screen?
I can't anything at the moment. I can just see a zoom. Okay, go on.
Can you see my screen?
No, I can't see the screen yet.
Nothing there, Sayyid. It's just your normal background.
Okay, very strange. Okay, well maybe I'm having slight technical issues then. It's very unusual. Can you see me? Can you see me now, Hassan Bahari?
Yeah, I can see you, Sayyid.
Yeah, say it. I can see you. You need to share the screen now.
For some reason, I think the screen's having. Can you see my screen?
No, I just can see like now. Yeah, there's the screen. Can you make it bigger for us, please? It's right in the corner. I can't see it.
Yeah.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, we can see the screen now. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
That's good. That's good.
That's much better. Much better.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Much better. Asante, Habibi.
Okay. Alhamdulillah.
Perfect.
I can assure you, I'm not
Okay.
lying. Okay, it was a technical issue.
Sayyid Ali, can you go back to 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗕𝗦𝗧 scan? Just show the scan.
Yeah,
not,
sure, no
not-
problem.
Yeah,
No problem.
don't quote it, but just show the scan and then get back to the next one.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. This is live TV. It happens.
He's not lying about that, by the way.
Exactly.
Well, he could be. You never know. Is it? Can you see the screen now? Is it okay?
Very clearly.
Yeah, Asant. It's just really
It's
clear now.
perfect. Now it's clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, God can lie. Okay, hold on. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this is from the next reference was from 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗕𝗦𝗖,
Yeah.
and he says, therefore, the mazhab, the belief of all Muslims, researchers, and I swear to God, this guy, forget God lying, he's lying here, okay? Because I can assure you, this is not the belief of all Muslim researchers. He says the belief of the Muslim researchers and from the pious Sufiya, the Sufis, and the great scholars is that lying is within the qudra of Allah, within the power, the ability, the power of God. Then he says lying is within the power, the qudra of Allah, and why shouldn't it be, as he has control on everything? This is from Fatwa Rashidiyah, page number 237. Guys, do you want to make a comment on that, or?
I would just say Na'udhu Billah, the way they would write it down, right? After quoting our beliefs, they would just say Na'udhu Billah every time they would quote our beliefs, right? I think it's time for us to say this.
Astaghfirullah. Okay, so this is page number 237. Lying within the control of our sensitivity. Okay, so you should be able to see the page, and that's the reference there. Does it come up?
Yeah, it's visible, Habibi, it's visible.
Great.
Yep, it's clear.
Okay, brilliant. By the way, the same reference of 𝗦𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗓𝗦 is also found in Shia as well, in page number 98 and 99. So the same reference is also located in other books as well. So it's not
Okay.
who's unknown to them, or somebody can claim that this book was fabricated and it's not his book or anything. In which case, we would ask them to condemn the person who did publish it and his name, and also attribute that statement to him. Page number 99, and that's reference. You should be able to see it there. Okay, just bear with me. I'm just going to bring up the next reference for you guys. Okay, so this is another one of the scholars, 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗓𝗦, which again you can look up who he is, a notable, respectable scholar for the Deobandi community. And he says, Imkan al-Kizab, meaning Allah can lie, is within the power of Allah, although he won't lie. This is quite interesting though.
He can, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he can. He has the ability to lie. And by the way, I think there's even a statement saying that those who say he can lie is actually a disbeliever. But it's within his power. So they're saying it's within his ability.
By the way, guys, we need to be really honest, and I think we are honest here when we're presenting full quotes, right?
Yeah.
We just don't say that, oh, this is their belief, and don't quote the full reference, right?
Absolutely.
Thing is, we don't have a problem with them saying that, oh, Allah won't lie because he has said he
Yeah,
won't lie.
we agree with them.
But just saying Allah can lie, it's under his qudra and power to lie. It's we have the problem with disbelief. So we really want to be really explicit of our argument. We don't say that Deobandis believe Allah can practically lie. No, that's not what we are accusing them. We're just accusing them of this thing that it is possible for Allah to lie, but he won't. This is the belief that we have a problem with. Yeah, go ahead, say it.
Can Allah cease to exist?
Yeah, if it is possible, but he won't. I think as per some Deobandis, you never know.
So
Yeah.
this is, and it's found in his book there, and page number 274, published in Deoband. Getting the scans up there for your viewers. And the part that's underlined, which is just over there. Okay, let's go to the next reference. Oh, that was a bit too fast. It's also mentioned in 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗙𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏's biography as well. And he says something quite interesting. Written, it seems that according to 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏,
Dastagir,
wasn't it? Yes, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗧𝗏, that's it. It seems that according to 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗧𝗏, that it was against his belief of 𝗬𝗢𝗓𝗧𝗏, that meaning that it was against the belief that God can lie. Then he says it's not important that Allah should have the power than the power of a person. However, it is the consensus of scholars of ilm kalam that whatever a slave can do, Allah has the power to do the same. So did you guys understand? I don't know.
Amazing.
Yeah, Sayyid Ali, I would just pause here for a second here. Just want to tell the viewers here, 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗧𝗏𝗦𝗨, I think if I'm not wrong, his the last name was Qusuri, or the place that he was from.
Correct.
He's originally a scholar that debated 𝗦𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗓𝗦 on this 𝗦𝗢𝗓𝗧𝗏𝗦𝗙𝗧, and he's a really prolific scholar that's well respected by the Sufis, the Brelvi school of thought there. And he has also written a book against Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani. So just wanted to tell that he's not a normal figure that 𝗦𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗓𝗦 is debating against. He's a huge figure in Indo-Pak. Yeah, go ahead, Sayyid.
Okay, so then the last part of this statement, however, it's consensus of the scholars of ilm kalam theology that whatever a slave can do, Allah has the power to do the same. So meaning, if a slave can have a child, as in a human, if a human can have a child, then Allah has the power to do the same thing. Meaning that God, it would be, according to them, it would be absurd not to attribute God human-like traits to God.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we take this to its logical conclusion, Sayyid Ali, what he's saying is whatever a human can do, God can do too, right? So that means if a human can have sexual intercourse, God can have sexual intercourse.
Yeah, if God can rape,
If
a human can rape, God can rape.
Yeah, steal, cheat,
Yeah,
partake in, sexual deviancy, all such could be done by the Creator.
If a human can die, why can't God die? Because it's in his power, right? How absurd! Even the Christians, even the mushrikeen, even the non-Muslims, from the Jews, Christians, they wouldn't even have this belief that God has the ability to lie. But here we have this belief, this absurd, ridiculous belief that since God can do anything and everything he wants, he can kill himself. Oh, sorry, he can lie, since it's in the ability of a human to lie. Because let's be realistic. Why do humans lie? There could be many factors, but it's a type of weakness. Lying is a type of weakness. Okay.
Yes, of course it is.
And then to claim that God lied, how ridiculous is that? Let's just say, for hypothetically speaking, on the day of judgment, you're standing in front of God, and God goes, "Guess what? I was lying about everything. It's all a big lie."
Unbelievable, it really is. But it's just, I just find it incredible, and I'm almost stressing that point.
Look, so how do you know the Quran is not truthful then? It just could be one.
Exactly.
You might reject the Quran.
Asant. There would always be, because if they don't have a logical premise to start with, and they would always have this logical belief that God can lie but he won't, then obviously nothing can be relied upon. No Sharia can be relied upon.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, because their proof of God cannot lie is that God has said that he won't lie. Okay, if God wouldn't have said that he won't lie, would you still believe he would lie or not?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
To elaborate further, remember, when we're talking about lying, we are talking about the speech of Allah. And according to some of these people, they believe the speech of Allah is something eternal. So that means God is eternally lying. Allahu Akbar.
Ahsant, Habibi. That's that's really good argument, right? That's really good argument, right?
So basically, before Surah, if Surah Ikhlas hadn't descended, would you be thinking that God can have a son?
Well, why not? Because since God
the only reason that you have a different position is because God says it. So if it wasn't for Surah Ikhlas, you would probably be pondering, can God have a son? Does he have to partake in sexual act to do so, because obviously if his servant could do it, then obviously the creator can.
Because obviously the creator.
What stupid logic is that?
Like I have another argument. Like if this is the way it goes, and a slave can be a really good person when it comes to ibadah, right? He can be a really good worshipper. He would worship God in the best way. Can God be the best worshipper or no?
Of course, yeah, exactly. If we
Yeah,
take it to that logical conclusion,
yeah,
you're absolutely right.
yeah. If you go with their argument, right? I mean, everything is possible. You see, like the lawazimat that comes from it, right, are so absurd and are so dangerous.
I think we'll say Zaidi, we'll discuss that towards the end of the show. I think
Yeah. Habibi, tafaddal. Go ahead.
let's just continue, okay? So now
Let's
you've
go
got
ahead.
them attributing lies to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though they may consider disbelief, that lying, that anyone who claims Allah can lie is disbelief, they still believe that it's in his power, it's in his nature. See, the problem is these people do not understand the relationship between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attributes and his essence. This is the issue. This is the reason why these people have actually fallen into this dilemma. But we can go over that anyway. But the point is, okay, so you've got Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala having the ability, the qudra, the power to lie, but now not just that being attributed to the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, but they even attribute to Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. So they've given examples to demonstrate. For example, in the footnotes, 𝗙𝗢𝗕𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗓𝗙 says that Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, astaghfirullah, saying that the bigger among these three, meaning the bigger among these three idols, did what he did was a lie. Allah has quoted it, and attributing lying to Allah is not intrinsically impossible. So in order to justify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lying, what they said was that the actions of Ibrahim alayhi salam pretty much prove the legitimacy of lying. You understand? Yeah? And he lied on the three occasions. And this, by the way, this particular narration is actually mentioned in Bukhari, by the way. So it does say that Ibrahim lied on the three occasions. I'm not going to bring it up now for the viewers, but yeah, they have the claim on that. But I don't know if you brothers want to add anything to that, or
It's a huge topic here. Saying that Allah bringing this Prophet Ibrahim as a proof, because this reference has two purposes. One, the tawheen that they have done, the blasphemy that they have committed against Allah, and the blasphemy that they have committed against Prophet Ibrahim, who is said to be a truthful prophet in Quran.
yeah,
Of
Right.
course.
So I mean, like you see, like just to prove their belief and just to win debates and munadara, because he's having here he is refuting 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗧, right? So in order to win a munadara, in order to win an argument, they can attribute lie to Ibrahim, and they can show the possibility of Allah can lie, right? So if this is the way you will win a munazara or a debate, then haniyan lakum, congratulations for this munazara and debate.
It's true. And you see it, they do that. This is exactly the type of lying they do about the followers of Ahlul Bayt Islam when they misrepresent our books. They misrepresent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they're attributing lies to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salam, then what's the big deal about attributing lies to the Shia?
Exactly.
So let's just continue anyway. This is from 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗓𝗦, page number 146. This is the front cover again, and the page number, the reference for the viewers to see. Oh, sorry, bear with me. There's a reference there.
Sayyid Ali and Sayyid Hassan, I just want to if you guys can repeat it too, like if viewers can please ask questions, right? It's good that they're debating too, but if they can set up their questions so we can address them as soon as we are done with our discussion.
Inshallah, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sayyid. Good point.
So again, this is 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗓𝗦𝗖𝗥𝗓𝗦, and I think we've covered this one already. Apologies, we have covered this one already. Sorry, I've just gone because I've zoomed in. When I press down, it goes up way too fast. And when I press down, it goes down too fast. I promise you, I'm not lying. But anyway, this is still a good opportunity for viewers to maybe go back and pause on some of those references.
Okay, thank you very much. Say that. Is there anything else that you?
Yeah, I'm just sorry, I apologize. I'm just gonna find the reference where we're up to and just see if there's anything else that I want to add.
Because I think, do you have any sort of video evidence you want to present as well?
Of the scholars saying that Allah had, oh yeah, actually I do. Good point.
Thank you. Yeah, if you've got that, it's good to sort of visualize what comes from the testimony of the scholars by word of mouth.
Okay, so this is one of the prolific speakers. It's one of the prolific speakers. I don't know if I should mention his name or not. Okay, I should, because I think the viewers may want to go out and search the lecture stuff. His name is 𝗦𝗨𝗕𝗦𝗢𝗔𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗙. He's a Deobandi sheikh.
That the wolf came and ate it.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Just give me a second. Sorry.
Slap the girl.
I apologize. You know what? I don't think I've actually had the video here, but it's available online. If you go on YouTube, you can actually type in a video by a well-known Deobandi sheikh called Sheikh 𝗦𝗨𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗥, and the video is called Allah is Lying, and you could see that he's actually presenting this similar type of arguments. That look, he actually says it's disbelief to say Allah can lie. However, Allah does have the power and the ability to lie. So I'm going to conclude from there. I think we showed sufficient amount of references in Urdu, but from some of the notable figures that say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the ability to lie. I'm going to pass it back.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
I don't want to take up any more of your time.
Sayyid Ali.
Yes.
You wanna quote Mahmoud al-Hassan, like the last reference? Like there was one more.
Yeah, I was tempted to do that. Actually, you know what? I think
do it.
I think I will, because I don't.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I don't think I want our viewers to. Hold on.
I think it's an important reference, because it's not only talking about Allah lying or not. It's talking generally about all the bad attributes, right? It will be good reference for our viewers to.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Okay, so I'm just going to screen share quickly for you guys. Hassan Bahari, can you see my screen?
I'm looking at it now. Hold on.
No, Sayyid, I can't.
Now?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So Mahmoud al-Hassan Deobandi, he says the seventh issue is that there is a vast difference between carrying out a bad act and the possibility of carrying out a bad act. As for the first opinion of Allah carrying out a bad act, then it's impossible for Allah to do it. But as for the second opinion of the possibility of carrying them, then it is among the established proofs.
Amazing.
Yeah, wallah.
What can you say? I mean, I'm lost for words. Honestly, when you listen to that and you think, what? They're actually they're trying to almost rationalize that point.
Hassan Bhai, this is a point that where you wouldn't want to even bring a single ayah or a hadith or logical argument, because it's such an absurd thing to say that you would be that, bro, I don't have words right now, So
it's really, it really is. It shocks you to say, is this, you even have to ponder over such a thing, this sort of possibility.
What type of absurd things do you think about? Like,
exactly. I mean, do you ponder over these things and say, well,
and guys,
why would you even think about that?
I think there's one point to say to our dear viewers, especially the Deobandi viewers, right? In no way we are implying that this is a
Mari, could you put your microphone on mute, please?
Okay, I'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. To our Deobandi viewers, it's not to imply that you guys believe in it, right? We're not here to say that. We're just quoting you the reference, and I'm pretty sure most of you won't know what's there in your books, right? So we're here to reflect it. We're here to show you. At the same time, we want you to ponder it. It's a matter of your life hereafter, and you should. The more like people are really concerned when it comes to investment and whatnot, right? But I think there should be more concern about the life hereafter.
Yeah, do you know the problem is, to be honest with you, I mean, especially in the UK community, I remember the older generations, they used to take a bit more interest in sending the youth to learn Urdu and learn the books of, the the countries where they've migrated from. But now this custom has kind of died out amongst the youth, and this is why it's very unfortunate that a lot of the Deobandis out there, people from my age group, even less, the teenagers and even the little kids growing up, they don't learn Urdu, so they won't really know the opinion and the statements of the scholars unless they study the language, and this is quite unfortunate,
Sayyid Ali, I really understand. I think it's an actual problem for all the Western countries, right? People living in US, Canada, and everywhere, right? But my point is like that shouldn't be an argument for the viewers, right? We have presented the translation. If you don't believe in our translation, go and check with your scholars, right?
Absolutely.
The hujjah is upon you guys. In Qiyamah, you won't be able to say that we didn't know. You knew that, right? Now, if you don't ponder over it, if you don't do tawbah of such a belief, right, then I really think that it's a really slippery slope, right? Anyways, go ahead.
Hassan Bahri, do you want to come back on? Hassan Bahri's gone very quiet. Sayyid, is he there?
Yeah. Say, yeah. Say that.
Yeah. So coming back to the point, I absolutely agree with you. It's if you don't believe us, go out there. We could be lying. Forget God lying, we could be lying, right?
That's right.
We're the ones who apparently do taqiyya, right? We're the ones who
absolutely
believe in. Okay,
that's right.
Strange. But yeah, go to your scholars, ask your mufti, say, listen, I watched the show, I had these 3 Shia Rafzis who apparently believe in a different God to me, who believe in a different prophet to me, telling me that Allah has the ability to lie, but he chooses not to lie. Let's see what this is about.
And guys, I'm honest here, right? Researching these references were not easy at all, right? You really have to dig in the books, because there are different volumes, different editions, and whatnot, right? You really have to search it, go through the question answers, go where the exact quotation is. It's not a piece of a cake. It looks like a piece of a cake when it's presented, right? But for the viewers, a lot of research has been done behind it, right? So
absolutely
it's not like that you guys listen it as a pastime and then it's a new day for you the next one. It's a hujjah upon you guys. You guys have to answer in the day of Qiyamah if you won't ponder over it. Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Something I think, Sayyid Ali, thank you very much. You've provided us a kind of an overview. You've
I apologize.
taken.
I apologize in dragging it out slightly and slightly.
But it was important. It's important. But Sayyid, actually, I think because you've essentially provided a very good synopsis of this belief. What I really would like to know is there is something they've tried to do. The current day in Pakistan, the Deobandi sect, the more extremist type, which are linked to groups such as 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗧𝗜𝗢𝗎, they now call themselves Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So they essentially seem to be like presenting themselves as the true Sunni sect, the true flag bearers of Sunni Islam. And because some of the references, Sayyid Ali, that you presented on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lying, at some points there was a suggestion that this is a consensus of belief amongst the Sunni sect, that they believe exactly like the Deobandis are saying. I'd like to ask Sayyid Zadi, is this correct? What is the position amongst Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah? Do they also believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lies like the Deobandis are saying? Or is their viewpoint alien to what the Deobandis are saying? Sayyid Zadi, if you could expand on that, please.
Thank you so much, Sayyid. It is like Ibn Taymiyyah claiming an ijma, or the consensus of scholars. Usually it turns out that he's lying, right? It's one of those things that the musallimat or muttafaq alayh or ittafaq or these wordings, obviously they look really glittering, but when you really delve into it, when you really research what scholars have said about it, it's another lie. Because when they have such a wrong theology, then they really have to lie in order to cover it, right? So I believe that the scholars that have said, oh, it's among the musallimat and whatnot, is a pure lie. And I cannot claim for all Sunni scholars that would have said this, right? But I'm just quoting the really famous scholars, right? And the reason I'm not quoting the Ahlul Hadith scholar or the scholars from the traditional Athari or the Salafi scholars is because Deobandis their aqidah book called Al-Muhannad ala al-Mufannat. It's a question answers that they have done and they have answered. They have said that we follow Abu Hanifa in fiqh and we are Ash'ari and Maturidi in aqidah. So for us to bring Barbahari, for us to bring Ahmad ibn Hanbal, for us to bring certain other scholars, even though the Deobandis will be okay with it, I know, but we really, really want to bring classical Ashari, Maturidi scholars, right? Here, we would be quoting few Ashari scholars, right? What do they believe in terms of the possibility of Allah can lie, right? So, Sayyid Ali, are you listening me, Habibi? Sayyid
Yes,
Ali.
I am. Yes, I am. I'm going to bring it up for you right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, Sayyid, can you screen share it?
Sure.
I'll quote the references, inshallah.
Sure.
And since I see we're running out of time, so I'll quote few Arabic references and I'll quote the English translations, right? So I need to be really brief with it. Within like 5-7 minutes, I need to be done with it, inshallah. All the comments that we would have in between, I would have brothers to come in once I'm done with the referencing, inshallah. So the first reference that I'm quoting is from Abdul Rahman al-Iji. Iji is a famous scholar, al-Mawaqif, and there is a sharh and a commentary written by Sunni scholar too. It's called Al-Mawaqif fi Ilm al-Kalam. It's published by Alim al-Kutub, page number 346 and 347. It says that Al-Khamis أنه لا يلزم من تصديق الله صدقه إلا إذا علموا استحالة الكذب على الله ولم يعلم إذا لا يقبح عندكم من شيء. That's page 346 and 347 says ومن الخام وعن الخامس قد مر امتناع الكذب عليه, which says that lying is impossible. It's intrinsically impossible for Allah to lie. So that's the first reference from EG. The reason I'm quoting the Arabic reference is to again emphasize on the point that whatever we are quoting, the translation we have done, you guys can go and have your scholars to look the Arabic text, the translation we have done, and if there is any mistake that we have done, so tell us. And if there isn't any mistake, then the hujjah is upon you guys, right? That's the first reference that is from Kazi Iji. And for the scholars and the researchers that are listening to our videos, right? He's a really, really huge figure. Still, I have seen scholars of theology quoting him time and again because this the stuff that he has written is always used as a quote. Second is from Fakhruddin Razi, and guys, no one needs an introduction for Fakhruddin Razi. He's a huge figure. He has a whole tafsir called Mafatih al-Ghaib. In this tafsir, the reference that I have is 1 second. التفسير الفخر Razi, مفاتيح الغيب. It's published by Darul Fikr. Volume number 3 and page number 152. He quotes an ayah, Al-Mas'alatu al-Rabi'a, qawluhu ta'ala, then he quotes an ayah, the ayah says that Allah cannot go against his promise. يدل على أنه سبحانه وتعالى منزه عن الكذب وعده ووعيده قال أصحابنا لأن الكذب صفة النقص والنقص على الله محال. What it is, it says that I'll quote the English thing. For tissue, Allah says in Quran, Allah will never go against his promise. Is a proof that Allah is free from lying both in promise of rewards and punishment. Wa'ada wal wa'id. Wa'id is for punishment, wa'ad is for the rewards. Scholars of our creed says that lying is an attribute of deficiency, and attributing deficiency is impossible to Allah. That's what Fakhruddin Razi has said in his tafsir. The third reference I have is from Sa'aduddin Taftazani. So now Sa'aduddin Taftazani is another big figure. He has written commentary on Aqaid al-Nasfiyah. He has a commentary on al-Maqasid, Sharh al-Maqasid. He has it's a 5-volume book. Recently they published in 5 volumes. The Indian version is 2 volumes, right? So the version that I have has 2 commentaries on Aqidah and al-Aqaid al-Nasfiyah. One is by 𝗬𝗪الدين 𝗦𝗡𝗬𝗧, the other is by Mullah Ilyas Qurani. So it's published by Darul Kutub al-Ilmiya, page number 467. So 𝗬𝗪الدين 𝗦𝗡𝗬𝗧 says that لو وقع لزم كذب كلام الله تعالى وهو محال. He says that it is intrinsically impossible for Allah to lie. Mullah Ilyas Qurani, the guy that I'm just quoting the English translation. 𗗦𝗧𝗧 saying that it is intrinsically impossible for Allah to lie implies that even a possibility of Allah lying is impossible. Just thinking, just like having this thought that Allah can lie is impossible. So the reason I'm bringing this istihala, the wording like istihala, mahal, the reason is that intrinsically it's impossible. So it is not that Allah can lie, but he won't lie. No, intrinsically, logically, it's impossible. So you see where we're going from. The fourth reference is 𝗦𝗣𝗣𝗢𝗣𝗢. Now I had two references from him, but I would just only quote one reference from Tawali al-Anwar because I'm just running out of time. I just have 2 more minutes to wrap up. Tawali al-Anwar, page number 189. 1 second. Give me 1 second. I want to quote the Arabic too. Yeah. So it's published by Darul Jil and it's page number. Yeah. So it's page number 189. It says فرع خبر الله تعالى صدق لأن الكذب نقص والنقص على الله تعالى محال. Same thing. He says that Allah's reports are true, as lying is an attribute of deficiency, and attributing deficiency is impossible to Allah. The last reference is from Mullah Ali Qari. It's a really, really famous book. Al-Fiqh al-Akbar is attributed to Abu Hanifa. Mullah Ali Qari has written a commentary on it. It's called Ar-Rawdatul. 1 second. Yeah, it's Sharh al-Fiqh al-Akbar by Mullah Ali Qari. And it's published by Darul Kutub al-Ilmiya, page number 45. والأخبار بلفظ الماضي عما لم يوجد بعد كذب والكذب عليه محال. That lying is impossible. It is intrinsically impossible for Allah to lie. So these are the 5 references that I have. I still have a few other references from a lot of other scholars. Let's say from scholars like Abu Sa'ud, from Ruh al-Bayan, and other references too. But we're just running short of time. It's already 7 minutes that I wanted to. So these are a few scholars that I quoted, and it implies that it's not something that Shias have a problem with. It's the belief that even the classical Ash'ari and Maturidi scholars have a problem with too. So I'll leave upon Sayyid Ali and Sayyid Hassan to continue.
Thank you very much, Sayyid, for that. That covers the point perfectly. So any suggestion that what we're saying, what the Deobandi is saying, is in any way reflected by the classical scholars of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that's simply not true. The reality is it isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Say that's very important, because it's not the fact that they're not. It's ridiculous, because it seems as clearly they're the ones who are actually lying. And what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? Allah will always expose the liars, and He's exposed them.
That's it.
You can see there is no clear consensus on this issue, because I'm sure people out of the Deobandi movement would totally reject this, and anyone would, even a Christian, as I said to you, even a Christian would, say this is an illogical fallacy. To believe it's like saying you have a squared, a round, a square is a circle shape. It's just a logical fallacy.
Absolutely.
Hey, even with the word lie, okay, because what is lying anyway? It's a form of imperfection, right?
Absolutely.
It's a sin. Sorry, brother, we're currently doing the live show at the moment, but it seems as if everyone is just jumped on for a second. So we apologize in advance if you just give us a minute. I don't know why. Sorry, just give me a second, brothers. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. For some reason, we just have random people joining us today. But yeah, coming back onto the issue of lying, lying, if you think about it, what is it? Lying is a sin. and it's a immorally imperfect action.
Absolutely.
And you're attributing this immoral imperfection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? He's al-haq, the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the all just, is adil. And this is why Shias followers of Ahlul Bayt, after Tawheed, we include Adala as the second pillar of our belief. Because the justice is a necessity to believe in. And it's quite clear that unfortunately there are people who do not believe in the justice of God, and they believe that God has the ability to lie.
Absolutely.
You know what? It's quite interesting that this show was actually a private show, but it seems that this show has been hacked. How interesting is that?
Very interesting.
So yeah, I don't know if you want to end it now. I don't know. I think the viewers are dying.
Sayyid, I think what we will do let's conclude it. Since people are itching to come on, let's bring them on. I think we will conclude. Let me do a quick conclusion to say, like we said, I think a sister has made a very good comment. She says, this isn't really a kind of a mainstream belief, whatever it is, people will deny it. You know what, the Deobandis, even the Sheikhan of the North that do attend, they may well deny it. But these are your books amongst your great ulama, and these are their viewpoints. You can't really hide from it. These are the views they ascribe to. But before attacking the Shias and accusing them of lying all the time, look closely at your concept of Tawheed, where you ascribe such beliefs about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think that kind of concludes it from our side in terms of the discussion. Let's open it up. Let's have an opportunity. But as I've said, Sayyid Ali, I want you to be the kind of oversee this at this point.
No
we
problem.
will only respond to questions which relate to this topic. Simple as that.
And Sayyid Hassan and Sayyid Zedi, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly share the link to actually join into the group chat on the YouTube page. Join. What I find interesting here is the fact that, as you notice for the viewers, that people have actually hijacked the show before I share the link. So I'm going to keep this show still live, so the viewers can see what type of responses we get for this show. And we made it very clear at the start. So we made it very clear at the start that any questions have to be related to the topic at hand. So yeah, there's a link. I've shared it in the chat section, so people can join us, inshallah. And the show is still live. Just bear this in mind. Assalamu
alaikum.
Brother, you, just to let you know, you are live. So if you've got any questions, brother, feel free to ask. But please make sure it's related to the topic at hand.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. How's everybody doing? So I have a question regarding a verse in the Quran that says, sorry, I'm paraphrasing, but it says that it was made for the people to see that Jesus has died on the cross, correct?
Okay, brother, you know what? Your question, is it going to be related to...
yes, it is.
Islam's death?
No, it has to... I have a deeper question that has to...
Sure. But is it related to this topic, bro?
Yeah, to this...
Please go ahead. I apologize for... And I request everyone to do... Apologies, see, brother. Look, this is the type of behavior that you see. Anybody joining, we request them to mute the microphone and let this brother Jabbar finish his question.
Of course. Just to let you know, I am a Shia. I'm a Shia also, so I'm not...
I get trolled. You better get trolled. You need to...
I was just going to ask...
do you know what's going on? We get a lot of these random fake troll accounts who are and as you can see, I'm just trying my best. The moderators are trying the best to remove them. So apologize in advance if you get interrupted again. Okay.
Of course. I understand. I completely understand.
Please carry on, brother. Please carry on.
My question was going to be, this is something that was troubling me as a Muslim, and I'm a Shia too. The question is, if it was meant for people to think that Jesus has died on the cross, right? How could Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow a whole religion then stem out of this deception, I guess, or like the illusion that Jesus has died, and then condemn such Christians? My question clear, or should I repeat it?
Guys, just a small comment here. We can...
واشهد علينا يا زمن واشهد علينا يا زمن.
Yeah, Sayyid Ali, just have other people to question, like don't give them a live thing. Like it's just not, I cannot listen the question properly, and it's there are a lot of problems coming across. Like if people can ask just on the written thing, and it will be much easier to answer. Otherwise people would just come in, would
Yeah,
have their own thing come in, and
unfortunately now, Sayyid Zaidi, the problem is we've opened it to the live audience for people to join, but you know we can't have control over who actually joins. But as you can see, some of the behavior of these people was quite. It's ridiculous, isn't it? You can see how afraid people are. Can you see?
I understand. Yeah, it's
this is why I left Sunni Islam, man. I swear the manners in these people. I swear to God.
Disgusting, isn't it?
It's unfortunate.
But seeing that, and you know, I used to defend that. You know what I mean? I used to defend that, bro. They like, you know what I mean? I used to defend that. I'm ashamed, bro.
I hope
no, I understand. Also, I'm studying in Christian college, and I'm the only Muslim. I get a lot of calls from that.
Brother, just to let you know, Brother Jabbar, your microphone is actually really bad. So for you, I think maybe the best thing to do is if you post your question in the comment section, somebody respond. I don't know if any of the other brothers want to come.
Wait, is my microphone?
Yeah, your microphone is not so clear, brother. There's a lot of
can I ask you a question then?
Yeah, brother, you go ahead. I'll let Brother Jabbar type up his question because.
Okay, wait, what's wrong with my microphone? What is it not clear?
It's all right.
Static. It's a bit static for me.
It's a very static and it's very broken.
Okay, one sec. Maybe I'm using my camera's microphone.
What I'll do is I'm going to pass on the question to one of the other brothers while you can resolve your mic issue.
Is it better now? Hello?
Yeah, it's a bit better. Yeah.
Okay, so is it better now? I think I was using my webcam microphone accidentally.
Yeah, that's better now. That's better.
Okay, sorry, I didn't notice. So do I go and ask a question?
Please, brother, yeah, please.
Yeah, so my question was, in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it was made for people to think that Jesus died on the cross, correct? Like it was made to seem to them that happened, correct?
No, it was made appear. It appeared to them.
Yeah.
It appeared to them like he died.
So they can't tell if it happened or not. Like it could be an illusion.
It looked like him. It looked like him.
Of course.
That's what it's saying. It looked like he died.
Yeah. So like the theory is Judas taking the image of Jesus.
Punishment.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. My question is, people wouldn't know, obviously. If you saw Jesus, a Judas in Jesus' image, you would think it's Jesus, correct? You can't tell as a human. So,
logically, yes, but his Sahaba, no. They should know.
Yeah,
like, logically, they should know.
So I'm saying for the common people, right? This event then is the foundation of Christianity, right? Billions.
No, it's a foundation now. That his sacrifice is the foundation now. Yeah, now.
So for people, they can't distinguish, like other than Sahaba. I'm just talking about the common people. They can't distinguish whether if it's real or not. Like what they see is what they get. My question is then, how can God allow such an event to continue to happen and condemn the people that believe that such an event happened, or like to believe?
I got a question. Can I answer with a question if that's okay?
Of course, yeah.
What if they knew it wasn't Jesus? Would they have sacrificed him?
Excuse me, what's the question?
If they knew it was not Jesus, would they have killed him?
I would believe they would not have killed him.
That's the point. Allah's
Mm.
defending Jesus by sacrificing another person. Do you get it?
Yeah,
So
but
Allah's
I'm saying
defending
it
Jesus.
it was made to appear that Jesus has died, correct?
Exactly, to protect Jesus.
Of course, no,
Yes.
I understand that. I believe that. I understand that. I'm saying, as a commoner, right? At that time, what I'm witnessing is Jesus dying.
But didn't Jesus himself say that Judas was going to die? He was damned to destruction in the Bible, that he will be forever doomed. How is it that he is sacrificed while that guy is now forever doomed? That doesn't make sense. That's a contradiction.
Brothers, I hate to interrupt you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular question you asked is more related to the whole discussion around Jesus, whether he was part
No,
of
my question was not about Jesus, really. It was more about such an event, God allowing such an event to happen. It seems like it's a deceiving act to people to allow to make it seem that Jesus has died rather than just
Okay, so in response to that, very briefly, what we would say as Muslims is the same as what the Holy Quran says regarding what happened to Isa alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says quite clearly that he's the best of planners. Okay, so whatever happened at the time, Allah is the best of everything. Okay, he doesn't have any imperfections. Imperfections are what exist in human beings. In fact, he's the all just. Okay, nothing is out of his power, but he doesn't do. There's no contradictions within his power, you know. So I think if you go to the books of theology, there is a deep academic discussion about this. But in short, to answer your question, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of planners. And whatever occurred, that was in God's best decision. Because, you know, before we start questioning what God's decision is, we need to first discuss what our understanding and perception is of you know, what is considered to be a good judgment or bad judgment. And what I mean by this is, look, you either follow God's laws or you follow man's laws. Okay, when you follow man's laws, it's open to discrepancies and always differences. When we're discussing God's the Almighty. He possesses the perfect balance of all like the name. We understand Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's nature through his names. You understand? So when we study his names, we understand his essence, but in reality, you'll never understand the totality of his essence. But we will. So I apologize, bro, if I don't know whether that answered the question or not. But in short, Allah is the best of planners. What he decided for Isa alayhi salam, that was the best thing at the time. There's no deception involved.
I've got a question
There's no lying involved. There's nothing like that.
Thank you very much.
I don't know, brother Gerard, do you want to elaborate further on this, or Sayyid Hassan? And I just want to welcome brother Sayyid Raza as well, who's also joined us. I've just noticed.
Yeah, man, what you got to say, man?
Hello,
yeah, Hassan Bahari, do you want to elaborate further? I don't know if you want to mention that.
No, I think I just made a comment. I think it's a method because Isa alayhi salam is needed to be preserved for future events. That's the reason why it happened. That's it.
Okay,
it was to protect Jesus, right? It was to protect him.
Sayyid Zaidi, do you want to say anything?
I'm good, bro. MashaAllah, like you guys have answered. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Any other brothers want to ask any questions? Because we're not gonna.
Yeah, I wanted to ask.
Sure, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to ask. Does God change his mind? For example, like, would he ever change his mind? Like, he has a plan and then he changes his idea and for a better plan.
Say Gerard, is he not here? Okay, let's pass to Sayyid Abasadi or Raza. Hold on, wait 1 second. Let's just pass.
Is Sayyid Zadi there?
Yeah. Hassan Bari, do you want to go on?
No, I thought it was Sayyid Zadi. Is he online?
Yeah, bro. Go ahead. Yeah.
Go on, Sayyid Zadi. You go.
Yeah, changing the plan in what way? Like, there are some things that cannot be changed at all, right? Like Sunnatullah, there is no change in it, right? But as for some tactical things, yeah, there can be change in plans, not because there was ignorance from God.
He just cut out. Oh.
No, he's muted his microphone. Okay, Zeddy, you mute your microphone. Sayyid Zaidi, you've muted your microphone.
Assalamu alaikum.
Maybe disconnected. Walaikum salam.
Yeah, Sayyid Hassan?
What? Sorry, Sayyid.
Oh no.
Hold on, I just want to add. Say, can you add one of the other brothers from the team, please? Hold on.
Sure, if you guys carry on. Ridha, you want to jump on?
What was the question? Can Allah change his mind?
Yeah, I think.
No. Like, can Allah change his mind for a better, like a better idea, for a better plan? For example, he
Let me
had
give you
an
the let me
original
give you let me
plan.
give you the best example. Let me give you the best example of that.
Okay, yep. go.
Al-Nas wa Mansukh. When Allah abrogates a law, that's Allah superseding his previous decision with something new, right?
Right. So he can do like a better thing, right? Like he
Yeah,
can,
of course.
but
Like,
only better. It's not
when
gonna
he,
be worse.
but the thing is, the abrogation or when he supersedes his old decision, it's not based on ignorance. Is he knew
Right,
it?
right.
He knew all along he was gonna do that. That's just his
Exactly.
plan.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he basically supersedes. So at one time he'll say something's halal, another time he'll make it haram. That's just his
Okay.
plan.
That leads to my second question. I believe that Allah Himself does not lie and cannot lie because it's impossible. It goes against His nature, right? But
Yeah.
what about deception? Because deception is not specifically lying. It's not. It's like for example, I'm gonna say something metaphorically. I'm gonna do something metaphorically, but I'm not literally gonna do it. Do you get what I mean?
I'll tell you the answer and say Gerard, hopefully he'll be able to add on to this. But
Right.
generally, deception is a form of evil.
It's not a lie though,
Deception-
per se.
You know, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying deception is a form of evil. It's not something good. It's negative. True?
In a way. In a
Ridha,
way. It depends on the
Ridha,
intention of the individual. though.
Ridha, you know the brother who we shared the link to earlier, Sayyid Jabbar, he's not with us anymore. Sayyid Jabbar gone. Sayyid Jabbar.
No, he's here, isn't he?
No, Sayyid
Jabbar's
Jabbar
there.
I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry.
There's some other brother.
There's only yeah.
The brother
mean
we had
Gerard?
there,
Jabbar.
I
Jabbar,
sent him
yeah.
a private-
Jabbar.
No, say Jabbar. I
Jabbar.
sent him a link. He's gone now.
Oh, Jabbar's gone. Yeah, all right, cool. That's fine. Yeah. So in regards to the actual deception is something that's negative and evil per se, and because in our belief Allah can't do evil, therefore we negate it.
No, but that depends on intention though. It does not. Like intention.
Give me an
If
example.
my intention is bad, like for example, like that Jesus one that the other brother was talking about, like Allah like deceived the people. Did he not? He deceived the people. But it
Yeah,
was
do you know when it comes to do you know what it is the wording you're using? For Allah, basically the ulama, what they will say is to use the word deceive for Allah is not appropriate. Do you get it?
Yeah, I know, because like we're humans, like
because
yeah.
the word deceiving is used negatively. So the
Yeah,
word, like
yeah.
it says, made apparent, made something look in a certain way, but the word deceive would not be used. Do you get it? Because the deception is not, as in you would say that he's basically protecting Jesus's life and protecting the oppressed. So rather than see it as he deceived the wrongdoers, see it as he helped an oppressed and made it look like something else. We wouldn't use the word deceive for Allah. You get it?
I think what he's
Yeah, I
saying
get it.
is,
It's like you're scared in a way. That's why I kind of
I
get
think
it. Yeah.
what he's saying, by saving Jesus' life in that certain particular way, a lot of people then consequentially believe that Jesus is God, right? And those people are condemned to hell because of that event, right? So by God saving Jesus, there's also other people will believe that Jesus is divine, and they have an extra obstacle to come over by debating Islam or not, like whether Islam is true or not. So that's, I think, if I'm getting this.
Is that where you're going with it? Yeah.
Well, basically, I mean, like, there's two forms of deception. Like, that's what I believe. I believe there's where it's evil, and I believe there's where it's good. And I believe Allah only does that which is good. So if it's a deception, it has to be a good deception. It can't be
But basically, what you gotta do is you just gotta refrain the wording and not use the word deception. Do you get
Deception
it?
has
So
a
you can say-
negative connotation. When
and for Allah, but
that's why we're evil. Like, I get that.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
we
but
think
as
that
in the
way,
word deception in itself, though, by essence, is not a positive word. By essence, you doing it like a taqsim for two different interpretations is fine, but the actual word in itself, it's like, you know, sometimes it's like yeah, it's like sometimes if I kill someone and someone says, oh Allah, you Raza, you oppressed him to help someone, I'll be like, no, I haven't oppressed no one. I've actually killed him for a reason. I haven't oppressed no one, bro. I've killed him for a reason. So there's a reason behind it. It's not oppression. So in the
Also-
same way,
Yeah.
rather than use the word deception, just use it as that was Allah's plan. Do you get it?
Yeah, but
Can I
like,
also add something?
I get it.
I just want to
Go
add
on.
something real quick. Sayyid Raza, earlier you mentioned God abrogating a verse. You know that the verse that Allah does not
Yeah, I
abrogate a
remember
verse until something is better. I also discussed this with a friend of mine, and verse does not necessarily mean a verse in the Quran. It can mean a creation. I think God refers to the sun as a verse. Correct me if I'm wrong. The moon or the sun as like he refers to it as a verse. So it could mean that God can remove a prophet and bring a prophet better than him. Like God saved Jesus, like he could be a verse, and brought a better verse, which is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Maybe that could be an interpretation too. So it doesn't necessarily
brings
mean
up-
God changed his mind. It just means it befits his plan to remove something and
You know, as in a change of mind is that Allah was always going to do that. So when He said something today, and then 3 years later He was going to basically alter that law or dismiss that law or abrogate the law, He always knew He was going to do it. So
Of
it's
course.
not like He's changed it out of ignorance. He was always going to do it. You get it?
Yeah, but what I gotta. Oh god, this I don't know. I don't want to confuse the people. I don't know.
Oh, it's a bit mad, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
no,
God does not have a mind so he can change it. God does not think. God is just
yeah,
God.
I know everything. I know everything planned, and I get that. But like, what if I don't want to say it, bro? Like, because this leads to another question. Do you know what I mean? Which leads to another, and I don't want that. Like the viewers, I don't want that for the viewers. But so we do agree that God does, in a good way, deceive the people. You know,
I'm still
for a
not.
good
I'm
reason,
still not
bro.
using the word. I'm still not saying deceive, bro. I'm still not saying
Right.
deceive, bro.
But it's like the word killing. Killing is bad.
because
but
no,
God
because
does kill, does he not?
No, but killing killing a dhalim is not killing a dhalim if he's broken a law. It doesn't become bad anymore. Do you get it?
No, I mean, like,
because killing's not bad in it.
justified.
Killing's not bad in itself. It depends on who's been killed for what reason. Do you get it? So killing's not bad in itself, but the word deceiving is bad in itself, bro. Do you get it?
But no, but how? Why? Because it's
Because
got
if you
good forms
deceive
as well,
someone,
like killing.
if you kill someone because they've broken a law or they've oppressed someone,
Yeah, but you can
automatically
do the same thing for decepting, bro. You can do the same thing for deception.
No, but
you can do
the
the
word
exact
killing
same.
in itself is not a bad word. But the thing is, the word killing itself is not a bad word. The word deceptive in itself is a bad word. Killing's
I
not a
don't
bad
get
word
it.
in itself.
But I think killing is worse.
Deceiving is like deceiving.
Yeah, you're not as in the word killing. Is it bad in itself? The word killing, or is the word decept? Like if I say
Well-
to you, you know, that's the lying argument. Someone could argue and come back with you and say, oh well, Allah can lie if it benefits. How about that?
The word lie in itself is bad. But
So
the
is
word
deceiving, bro.
no, the word deceiving means to make them believe. Do you get it?
If as in that, so say, rather than say deceive, because no one say to make them believe. Deceive. If you open a dictionary, would it say to make believe?
No,
If I open a dictionary now, would it be malicious? Deceiving has a malicious phenomenon linked to it. Do you get it?
okay,
it's
what does it mean in
malicious.
the dictionary though? What does it say in the dictionary then?
I think deception
What does it
means
actually say?
withholding information to your
Yes.
own
Yeah.
benefit. Like to withhold
But it's not.
information that wouldn't-
It's not a word to use for Allah's majesty. Do you get my point?
Bro, but look, it says deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. So, especially, it doesn't mean always, but deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true. Like, for example, Jesus dying on the cross.
Yeah.
That in itself is deception. It's not a
I
bad
don't know,
deception.
bro. You gotta think about the word, bro. You gotta think about
Bro,
the
just
word,
get
bro.
off the word, but the word
I
killing
think
is
the word
worse.
is appropriate, but I think
The
word,
word's not appropriate for God, man. Deception,
No,
everyone
No,
knows.
no,
in-
lying
like,
is not.
the word is appropriate to the situation. Like it fits the definition.
so you lot would say Allah deceived.
But society,
Nah.
I'm saying as a society, we give this word a very negative connotation.
Yeah,
that
as a society, I agree.
I don't think
It's
we can use it.
in Arabic. Would you call it khiyana?
I don't know
Khiyana-
Arabic, bro.
It's treachery. Khiyana is treachery, I think. Not deception.
Al khiyana. Yeah.
Khiyana is
I don't know
treachery.
Arabic.
Ilmi khiyana. Deceiving. You could use it synonymously though.
Yeah, I think treachery can go.
You can
with-
use it because they say al ilmi khiyana. Like
Yeah, yeah.
he's deceiving by his knowledge. You get it?
No, Rada, I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is the way he read the definition applies to that situation. But us as a society, we give the word so much negative because historically speaking, deceiving people has always been used in a negative way.
Brother, sorry,
Right? So I don't think we can use it to God anymore.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I'll just read it again. Yeah, deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true. So it's not lying per se. It's like I'm saying I'm going to do something, but I did something better. Like I could speak metaphorically, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'll give you an example. Like in the Old Testament, right? Being rich was haram. Did you know that? Being rich was haram.
Yeah.
Being rich was haram. You couldn't be rich. Like when Jesus came,
Yeah.
he said that anyone who's rich basically is going to hell. But when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came as a mercy for mankind, that wasn't the law, was it? You could be rich so long as you give zakat.
Yeah.
And khums and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
I just think
but why did it change?
Just on a quick point, brother. So
yeah.
Okay, so I was mentioning the verse earlier that says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the best of planners, but in terms of deception, what we have to remember, there are other verses in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He guides who He pleases and misguides who He pleases. So now, if we were to take this verse and
take it literally, yeah,
we would assume then that look, we have no
Allah misguides,
because Allah misguides people. But when we look at the interpretation of this verse and how the theologians have explained it, they've said here, when an individual wants to seek guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then they have to work towards it. And what I mean by this is, let's just say in a hypothetical situation, I'm a company director. I have an employer who's always on time, right? He's there, I ask him to work on his days off, he works on his days off, he puts in the extra hours, whatever. He comes to me the next following day and asks for a day off, okay? Now, I'm very likely to give it to him because as an individual, I'll be like this person, he submits, he does this, he does whatever I say. On the other hand, I may have a worker who always calls in sick, never turns up to work, is always on holiday, whatever, so and so forth. Now, if he asks for a holiday, then the situation might be somewhat different. So when we're talking about guidance, yes, Allah is the best of guides. You understand? But all these weaknesses and issues when it comes to deception and stuff like this, this is all from ourselves. It's not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This will go against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's justice.
Right, brother. Said Ali, I don't believe that deception it's weak. I don't think it's weak. I mean, you have to be really smart to deceive someone. It's not easy.
100%. No, I'm not agreeing.
Especially for Allah. Like, if Allah did deceive, I'm saying if He did, like, He's got to be the best. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got to say, I'm going to burn people and not burn them.
Allah the best of deceivers. You know, Allah does not call Himself the best of deceivers.
Absolutely.
So I think, that's
no, I'm saying if He was, though. If He was, He has to be. Right? Because He's the most smart, the most wise.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say the wisest. You can say the wisest. That's a better word to use for this situation.
This would be an illogical fallacy. And we've got another brother, Raza Musri, who's joined.
Oh, alaikum salam.
So yeah, you know, I can understand your arguments, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I think, as Sayyid Raza stressed, I think it's the application, number one, the application of the word, number one. And number two, we need to really ask ourselves, you know, it goes back to the point, this whole topic, what was it about? Can Allah lie? Okay.
No way.
Now, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do absolutely anything He wants. But He would never
not
do
really.
anything. No, of course. Well, no, within His limitation.
Like, for example,
what
God can't create another God stronger.
Exactly. No, this is my point, because it would be an illogical fallacy, because it would go against His very essence. You know, so then if God can do whatever He wants, why can He not have a son? Why, you know, reject the Christian
stuff like
of, you know, when some of the Christian brothers say Jesus, Son of God, well, they could say, well, why not? It's not impossible. You know, even you guys believe that it's not impossible for God to lie, for example. So yeah, so obviously this is a topic of discussion. I don't know if any of the brothers want to add anything before we end the live show.
So my question was, like, do we all agree though that like it's a good way, like let's just say plan. If we're not going to call it deception, can we call it plan though? Like
the deception, brother, is only from us. Okay, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the dumb, deaf, and blind, it's not always understood to be something literal. God doesn't make people literally blind, deaf, and dumb in that sense. Well, of course, certain people have been created in that way, and that's the test for them. But this is from ourselves. This is our misguidance. The deception is from us. It's from our misguidance, and this is why certain veils have been put in front of us that we are not able to see certain things. So
God does not deceive.
No,
is what you're saying.
Of course, it goes against God's essence. If we deceive, the deception is from us.
So he doesn't deceive us, though. We're deceived. Like we deceived ourselves. That's what you're saying.
There is a verse that says God deceives the deceivers, but it doesn't. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
No, but I'm just saying in a good way, though. That's all I'm saying. Like in a good way.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
yeah,
okay.
I feel from my understanding, it was a case of the way you kind of ascribe that actual word, and if you ascribe it in a positive sense, then I could say, yes, he's a deceiver in that sense, because if you look at all the English translations of the verse that I put in the chat, they all say deceive. However, when you start using negative connotations, then I guess you're applying something to Allah that cannot be ascribed to him because of his nature.
Right.
Yeah.
Deceive is a neutral word, though. It's not like an evil word. It's a neutral word. It could be good or evil.
I guess maybe looking at the Arabic language would probably help the situation, and using that word would be more accurate.
Sorry, brother, you can also apply the same sort of logic to lying then. You can say, well, lying is good in a certain circumstances, Some people may lie to protect life. Some people, lying is the bottom line is what you need to understand here is lying is a form of weakness. You understand? And you cannot ascribe some type of weakness to God.
No, but lying is clear, though.
In terms of deceiving people, this is a form of manipulation, okay? And
I get that.
People, I could say to you could just be put into an example where I don't know, if we, it's just that illogical fantasy. It's just
So surely, if Allah has like sealed your heart, that's a form of deception as well, because you'll believe in something that may not be there, or you may believe in, So in that sense,
but lying isn't totally prohibited. The Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave some circumstances where you can actually lie. For example, reconciliation. Reconciliation with husband and wife. If the enemy, to save your life, if you had to say something against Islam, that is also permissible. That's two circumstances when you're allowed to lie.
Is this about kind of
there's a hadith in Bukhari which as you rightly mentioned, that talks about the three circumstances where lying is permitted, and one of them is to bring reconciliation between two party of people, etc., etc. So yeah, there are these traditions, but again, lying and all these.
So is that a reflection of Allah in that sense then?
No,
lying. In my opinion, lying is clear. Like if something is white and you say it's black, that's lying. But deception is different. Deception is like saying it's a light color and it's white, but you're not saying it's white. You're just saying it's a light color. Yeah, you're not telling him the color. You're making him confused. So he believes something else.
Also, I just read the verse.
He thinks it's blue. You know what I mean?
I just read the verse that translates the word to deceive. So it says the hypocrites think to deceive Allah, but He is deceiving them. So I read the Arabic and it says يخادعون, right? And the root word is khada', right? Which means to trick.
Tricked, well done. I was gonna say that khada'un is also trick.
That's very interesting.
Podcast because it's gone on for a little bit.
Of course.
Sayyid Nedi's left us. Sayyid Hassan Bahari's left us. There was another brother actually who wanted to jump on to Sayyid Jabbar, but it seems as if he's not here with us either. So I'm going to call this an end, and you guys can still stay on. I might stay on as well, inshallah. So thank you for joining in. Okay. Inshallah, we're going to be doing something similar next week, same time, and it's probably going to be a continuation of something similar. Assalamu alaikum.